Hello you sexy beasts and welcome back to War Thunder. Today we are taking a look at the M8 Scott. The M8 Scott is an American researchable light tank sitting at rank 1 and battle rating 2.0. The armament consists of a 75mm very short-barreled howitzer and a 12.7mm or 50 caliber Browning machine gun. Whilst the turret rotation speed, even on an upgraded tank and with an ace crew, is quite slow at only 7.1 degrees, this being due to the turret being hand cranked, the gun depression is extremely great, and in fact the elevation as well. You can traverse this gun between -20 and 40 degrees in the vertical. In fact, this makes the M8 Scott one of the best depressing tanks in the game, tied with the Matilda. The reloading rate for the 75mm howitzer is extremely fast. 4.3 seconds on a stock tank, 3.3 seconds on a fully upgraded crew. The armor is nothing really special. At 38mm on the turret all around, as well as the lower glacis, and 28.5mm angle at 49 degrees on the upper frontal plate. This tank is by far not the least armored tank at this battle rating, but it will still not hold you from many shots. You can't really play this thing like a heavy tank. You might be able to bait some enemies into shooting at your very extremely angled frontal plate if you present it like this in front of a corner, but mostly you aren't really going to stop many shots, especially when your turret ring is only an inch thick, actually half an inch thick. Now this tank is rather small and has very cramped interiors. 4 crew, machine gunner, driver, commander and aimer. The commander does seem to act as a loader at the same time, with the machine gunner pretty much just being a backup, given that the machine gun is up here and operated by the aimer if I am not mistaken. Now as you can see, there are ammo racks absolutely everywhere. Thankfully none of them are in the turret, which is good, given that you can simply hide the hull given the massively great gun depression. But with so many ammo racks around, the center shot mass can spell your doom. Now in arcade mode, which is what we're going to play today, simply because very low velocity, this tank has a mass of 15.6 tons and a horsepower output of 346 horsepower. The indicated maximum speed is 69 km/h, however, I have never reached a speed even in arcade mode. You might be able to reach those speeds going down or going on flat terrain, for example, but a good indication of what the main problem with this tank is actually the maximum inclination of 21 degrees. Most tanks have a maximum inclination of up to 40 degrees. This has half of that, and this is because the tracks are very narrow and simply do not have the grip to go over rough terrain. So anything that's not paved roads, you're going to be quite slow actually. Now there aren't many ammo choices. In fact, both of the ammo choices you get from the get-go and you cannot unlock any of them. The first shell is a HE shell, box standard 75mm HE shell. Even at this low battle rating, this is mostly useless. You might be able to use it against AA guns, but honestly, just kind of skip this HE shell. This type of howitzer is not designed to fire HE shells. Instead, you have this nice heat shell. Now keep in mind, you can put out one of these every 3.3 seconds with a fully upgraded crew, and it has 89mm of penetration, which is more than enough to go up against anything you face at this tier. Even when you are in a full 3.0 up tier, there isn't really anything that can stop this heat shell. And of course, heat shells working the way they do, they retain the penetration over any range and very well over angles as well. The one thing you have to keep in mind, however, is that the heat shell is quite slow. At only 3.4 meters per second, it is not the fastest rounds. That crown goes to the German derp tanks, which are only 240 meters per second. But it's still not a long-range sniper. If you're going to employ this thing in realistic mode, you either have to get very close and use this kind of like a shotgun tank, or you have to be very, very good at estimating ranges. Of course, with the use of rangefinders, it can, of course, help, but hitting moving targets at range is going to be almost impossible with this type of shell. Now, this tank can carry up to 46 shells, and I do actually recommend carrying all 46, carrying a full ammo load. Firstly because, well, if you play this thing correctly, you are not going to be exposing your ammo racks in the first place, and you have absolutely awesome gun depression and can simply expose just the turret and completely shield the hull. But secondly, the reload is extremely quick, honestly. And keep in mind, this is not really a one-shot machine. Heat shells at this tier are not really one-shot machines. You're certainly going to penetrate everything, but you're going to need multiple shots to kill most enemies. The reload is in fact so fast on this thing that you're going to very quickly expend all of your ammo before you even notice it. That has happened to me before. I've played a couple of games on this thing, in arcade mode, which is also why I know this thing is not very fast when it comes to rough terrain. As you can see here on paved roads, it's actually really quite fast, which is great. But the tracks are simply too narrow to really deal with dirt, snow, sand, anything like that. Anything that's not paved road, essentially, you're going to have massive problems with actually getting grip and getting any kind of speed. And as you can see, even in arcade mode, the turret rotation speed is extremely slow. And this is all due to, well, the nature of the turret being hand cranked. I think there's an enemy behind me as well. This is a live commentary. Okay, let's see. One thing to keep in mind in arcade mode is you always can see enemies from quite far away when you look at the minimap. So as you can see, even though I cannot see this Valentine directly, I can definitely shoot at him. And given that we have such a fast fire rate, it doesn't really matter when you, for example, miss your first shot or just hit the engine. You can simply ready up a follower shot so quickly, it does not matter at all. But look how much I have to elevate my gun not to even get shots on target. This man so far has no idea what I'm doing. I can even shoot over my... I can even shoot over my friendly and still get that Panzer IV. That was amazing. Now, what's really the place of this tank? Is it really going to be the most effective tank out there? Honestly, it might not be. It certainly is fun to drive around and everything like that, but you're going to have massive problems with the turret rotation speed. It's not really designed to... Oh, there we go. Drive machine gunner. Can we get to follow-up shot before he turns around? Yes, we can. It's not really a tank designed to be very effective or very competitive with everything. Keep in mind, you don't have much armor. And what you do have great mobility and unpaved rounds, and you have great penetration and great, oh god, and great overall, well, gun depression, mobility, firepower, everything is there. It's not really a one-shot machine, and oh god, friendly, don't do that. Okay, maybe let's go around instead of facing the thing head on. You take a shot, you're pretty much dead. You go on. Oh shit. Okay, we got his loader. Good. Got his machine gunner, come on. Keep up. He's trying to run away, the bugger. Get his commander. What's left of him, I don't know. Need to go, there we go, he's dead. M3 behind us, by the way. Who is coming after us. Thankfully, I actually just took damage to the radio operator, nothing else. But as you can see, even though our machine gunner is down, we still have access to the 50 cals. Which you can actually use effectively in this tier. At Battle Rating 2.0, you can and will face reserve tanks, and it just so happens that the 50 cals are very good at dealing with those. Heat shell doing short work of that A13, as is to be expected. We might even be able to hull break this LVT, let me see. Not quite hull break, but no problem dealing with him either. Didn't quite see the kill cam on that one, so I'm not sure if there was a hull break or if the MGs did anything. We have some companies on the left side here. Let's see if we can surprise him. Now I kind of have to use this thing like a tank destroyer, really. Given the slow turret rotation speed, it's really quite bad. If you get surprised by multiple enemies, like for example running a corner and your turret is not facing the right way, you are pretty much dead. Don't expect this thing to be able to respond quickly in close quarters. You do not have the armor to really do anything. Only thing that really saves you is... Oh god. We actually got that. Wow, ammo rack, nice. Oh shit, the hull break. So yes, you can actually hull break LVTs, but now we are pretty much fucked. If we overcrew are down, we are on the repair, but it's over. So, is the M8 Scott worth anything? Well, I mean, at Battle Rating 2.0, there isn't really much you can ask for, and this is definitely not one of the worst tanks around. In fact, whilst it might not be the best tank around, I definitely do not recommend playing this thing in very competitive matches. At this battle rating, no one knows what they are doing unless you're going up against other people who have been playing the game for years, so no one will really shoot this thing on sight like they should, you have a chance to really just derp around, not be seen. Doesn't really matter that you don't have that much armor since no one will be shooting at you anyways if you play it smartly. The gun impression is amazing, you can really use this thing as a hill sniper. That in conjunction with the very slow muzzle velocity actually means that you can shoot over cover and over hills, which is absolutely amazing. In realistic mode you're going to have some problems given the very slow muzzle velocity. It's not going to be the most ideal tank for that, although given the very fast reload rate you can do just ranging shots until you get on target. I do recommend carrying more ammo than you usually would, maybe even carry a full ammo load, simply because you just go through your ammo so incredibly quickly. The tank can be very quick on paved roads, so if you are playing on city maps, definitely take this tank out. It can be very fast on that. But when you go up against, when you go up on snow maps, desert maps, or maps where there's generally a lot of mods, your tracks simply are too narrow to give you grip, and you're going to be quite sluggish in those. So in effect, is the tank worth it? Yeah, it's a good tank in the right hands. It's just something to chill out and load here, really. And well, I mean, you can't really go wrong with the 75mm fast-firing howitzer that fires heat shells. Oh, and by the way, before I forget, I actually completely forgot mentioning the M2 in general. This is actually really quite nice. At a Battering 2.0, having a 50 cal is very, very useful. You are going to go up against tanks that you can simply penetrate with the 50 cal alone, not to mention the heat shell. The heat shell is actually kind of overkill when going up against LVTs, since you can simply hull break them when hitting the hull itself, as you saw in the gameplay. And from the side, you can pretty much penetrate anything with this 50 cal. Hell, you don't even need to carry HE shells against AA trucks, since you can simply hose them down with machine gun fire. Anyways lads, this has been a very quick review of the M8 Scott, and yes, before you waste your time writing in the comments, I know there's another M8 in the game. There is a rare event vehicle version of the M8 that actually has a long 75mm cannon, similar to the... It actually is the M3 cannon that's featured on the M4 Sherman, if I'm not mistaken. That thing is slightly overpowered from other third. That thing is just amazing. But this thing in Battle Rage 2.0, as I said, it's really fun. It's just really a tank you can relax with, have fun, derp around, and just seal clubs on people. Anyways lads, hopefully you have enjoyed this video. If you did, do leave me a like rating, I would very much appreciate that. If you're new around here, do check out the channel for more content like this. Maybe you will like it, and hey, if you like the content and like Warframe in general, do subscribe to the channel. We're doing pretty much daily uploads now. The next video upload scheduled for tomorrow is probably going to be a realistic gameplay of the FV4005, since I know that about half of you guys don't really like arcade gameplays. I'm sorry about that. Although chances are by the time I'm saying this, they have already clicked off the video. Well, shit. Anyways, realistic for FV4005, the 183mm derp cannon, coming up tomorrow, and I'll see you then. As always lads, my name is MikeGoesBoom, and thank you for watching.
You can lift your head up to the sky, take a deeper breath and give it time. You can walk the path among the lines with your shattered frame of mind. Or instead you could always stay. We can wait right here and play until somehow you can find